Hi guys, welcome to ValZenDen. My name is Valerie. I am so excited to show you guys this collection. It just came out. It is the winter collection for Lacquer, and it is in this beautiful, amazing, gorgeous packaging. Just look how much detail was put into this packaging. I will obviously keep this forever. But yeah, if you guys have seen these type of videos, I'm gonna show you guys nail comparisons with other Lacquer polishes. I'm gonna show you guys swatches as well, and I'm also gonna do what I did on my last video, which is bottle compare some of the polishes that didn't make the cut on my comparisons because I was freaking out because I couldn't show them all at once. So I'm gonna show them here as well in the bottles. So if you're into that, just keep watching. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the back as well. It has some reflect there, and oh my gosh, let me show you the inside. It is like a little wooden case. I said this in my reaction video. For whatever reason, Instagram only allows like 30-second reels, or is it called reels? No, shorts. So I can't really add my first reaction videos here, which sucks, but if you guys are interested in that, you can go check it out on my Instagram or my TikTok, where I open it for the first time with you guys and you can see my authentic reaction and everything. But in that video, I said that this was like kind of squishy, and it is. It's not a bad thing, but it just feels like cozy and squishy, and I love that. Anyways, so the back of the lid is absolutely amazing. So the top here says get cozy this season or something like that, I'm not too sure. And then at the bottom you just see a huge elk, deer, animal, I don't even know, I think it's an elk, I'm not sure what it's called. But how beautiful is this? Like, I don't know if I want to display this part or like the front. It's just like, it's so gorgeous. Let me start off by showing you guys a little card, and it's just a beautiful red card. And this is the back. If you guys want to pause to read, but this is such a postcard. I love it. It is so freaking cute. So before we get into the nail polishes, I'm going to show you guys the nail tattoos that it came with. So this is what they actually look like. I just see little teddy bears, some like twigs, little birdies, mushrooms, cranberries, all the cabin vibes. I think this is just such a cool story idea. I would have never thought of it because I'm from Miami, so I don't ever go to cabins or anything like that, but I love the theme. It's so pretty. I think the tattoos are limited edition, so if you really want them, get your hands on them because I don't know how long they're gonna last. And here is the collection, which you guys have probably seen by now, but look how beautiful it is. Like, I don't even want to take them out of the placement holders that they have here. So pretty. I'm not sure if you can remove this part for your Christmas love letters. So the first one we have here is called Roast the Malo. Roast the Malo is described as a bronze caramel polish with a hollow finish. So for reference, if you don't know me or you've never been to this channel before, I am a baseball fan. So this one is super inspired by The Sandlot, which is a like baseball inspired movie. So I'm really happy to see it here, and it's such a cute name. The one thing that I love about a finish like this is that it dries so quick. It is like insanely quick how it dries. So hopefully they can bring out more finishes like this, because I love to rush through my nail polish, so I kind of low-key hate waiting for it to dry. So I was super happy to see that this one was like dried so quick. Okay, so the second that I saw this polish, my mind automatically went to Cortadito, because to be completely honest, I'm just like, this one is extremely similar to Cortadito, and probably out of all the polishes that I've ever compared, I feel like this one is probably the most similar to an existing Lacquer polish, even though Cortadito is technically not even available to be purchased. But I'm also not gonna sit here and tell you guys that they're super different. Like, if you have Cortadito, I honestly don't think you need Roast the Malo. But if you're like me and you missed out on like limited edition polishes like this and you really wanted Cortadito, I 100,000,000% recommend Roast the Malo, because it is super similar. And if you're looking at the comparisons, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But once I compared them and I stared at them for forever, I kind of see the difference. And to me, the biggest thing that I noticed is that Cortadito is a lot more like warm toned. Even though they are both like warm browns, I just feel like Cortadito is more warm toned. And I also noticed that Roast the Malo has larger like silvery flakes, like shimmers, so that is also like the biggest difference. But they are pretty similar, so like I said, if you have Cortadito, I don't think you need it. The next one that I compared it to is Americano, and I feel like the undertone is very similar, even though Americano Americano is like maybe a tad bit darker, but at the same time, like they're super similar, so they would both look amazing in a mani. The next one that I compared it to is Mrs. Robinson, and when I thought about comparing it, I thought it would be a perfect fit because it is like a caramelly kind of brown. And the last one that I compared it to is Churro, which I think it was Emma. They don't look similar, but I just wanted to put like a lighter brown just so you guys can see how dark roasted Malo is. I think this comparison is so pretty, so I hope it helps. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys the bottle comparisons, and these two are very similar polishes, so I'm just gonna put all three of them together. Okay, so this is Caramelo and this is Nora. This is with Unagi. This is with the Butler. This is with Mrs. Bennett. This is with Isabella. This is with We'll Always Have Paris. This is with Or Worse Expelled. This is with Alyanna, which I low-key can't remember the name right now. And this one is with Lyla, which I also don't remember the new name. Alright, so the next polish that we have here is called I Smell Snow. I Smell Snow is described as a laurel green polish with a fine dimer shimmer corelli finish. So if you guys know this reference, where are my Gilmore Girls at? It was so cute reading this name and I'm just like, oh my god, Lorelai, like how fun. It's safe to say that this polish is absolutely amazing and beautiful and gorgeous. For a reference, I feel like this is the same finish as Diamonds Are Forever. I am not sure, but I think because there's another polish here that has that same finish. So I had so much fun creating this comparison. The first one that I compared it to is Taurus, and I was shocked to see how similar the undertones of the greens were. I don't know about you, but what does laurel green even mean? Please someone tell me in the comments. The next one that I compared it to is Melancholy. I know it looks pretty creme here, but Melancholy is actually like a very thin formula, so I had to build it up a lot so you guys can see the true color of it. It's not identical, but Melancholy is a bit lighter than I Smell Snow. The next one that I compared it to is To the Nines, which in my pictures it kind of looks a little dark, but I promise you, like the shimmery light part is very similar to I Smell Snow. I'm sure that in the middle you guys can see like the strip of like the light shimmery side, and if you see it next to the bottle you can tell that there's like a similarity there, so that's why I added it here. And the last one that I added is 52 Chevy. Obviously it is a super bright light green, but I wanted to compare it here because I wanted you guys to see how much darker it is than 52 Chevy, since it is probably like the lightest green that we have. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys the bottle comparisons very quickly. This is next to Bikini Bottoms. This is next to Everlasting Gobstopper. This is next to Chloe or Oui'd. This is next to Hefa. This is Old Money. This is Hoping to Be Kissed. Here it is with Secret Garden. Alright, so the next polish I have here is called Un Poco Coco. Un Poco Coco is described as a rose taupe polish with a creme finish. This polish is so beautiful and it's kind of not similar to anything that we have. Not exactly. This one obviously just reminds me of hot chocolate, how it's just like a light, slightly cool toned like brown color. I don't know, it is so beautiful. I remember showing this collection to my mom and this one was like the first one that she made me put on her, so it is very loved in this house. So the comparison is kind of wild because I ended up putting polishes here that I would have never truly thought that they would be this similar. Like the first one is Zomo, or its former name called Zoey. I didn't expect Zomo to be this similar to Un Poco Coco because it is such like a pink color, but once you see them next to each other it has a similar vibe, just because I think Zomo is like a rosy taupe color as well. The next one that I compared it to is Jolene. I don't think she ever got to change the name for that one, so I just left it like that, and I thought I would show it to you guys so you guys can see how dark Un Poco Coco actually is, but how similar it is in the cool toneness of it. The next that I compared it to is Tiramisu. I also wanted to add a brown just because at first sight it might look like a light kind of brown, so I just wanted to show you guys how way lighter and pinkier it is than an actual brown. And the last one that I compared it to is Or Worse Expelled. This was the first polish that I thought of just because it is like a cool tone brown, but to my surprise they are super different. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a couple of bottle comparisons. This is with Dark Academia. Here it's with Mrs. Wheeler. This is with Lyla. This is with How to Quit You. This is with Mia or Amor. This is with Mrs. Bennett. This is with Burberry. This is with Mirage. And this is with Mrs. Robinson. Okay, so the next polish that I have here is called By the Fireplace. By the Fireplace is described as a bright cardinal red polish with a creme finish. This is truly one of the prettiest reds that they have come out with, and to my surprise it is very different from the other reds from Lyla's Lacquer. From just comparing them to the other ones that I put in the picture, I definitely see it being such a popular polish, and I think it is from what they said on their live. It is just like perfect and beautiful, ready for the winter time. So immediately when I saw this polish, I thought about Tooth Sweets, and if you're seeing the comparisons now, I ended up putting Tooth Sweets here. So let me just start with my thumb, and honestly Tooth Sweets is a lot more pink, so I was pretty shocked about that. But when I compared it to Ace, for example, you can see how much more pinkier toned it is, so it's kind of like in the middle of Ace and Tooth Sweets, but it's just like such a beautiful red. The next one that I compared it to is Aries, just because Aries gives me like red pinkish kind of vibes, and I thought it would be perfect to put here. And then the last one that I did is As If, which is like a tad bit darker and just like a more true red color. If you love reds, like I definitely suggest getting By the Fireplace because it is just such a unique red. Okay, so the first bottle comparison I have here is Coral Cabana. I just thought it was pinky enough to show it to you guys, and obviously you guys can see how much more red By the Fireplace is, but it is a pretty neon red, so it kind of looks really pretty next to Coral Cabana. Here it is with Cherry Jelly. This is with Cubana. Here is Lady in Red. This is Lucy or 1952. Here's with He's Her Lobster. And this is That's the Ticket. Okay, so the next polish I have here, it's called Barely Frio. Barely Frio is described as a baby peach polish with a fine diamond shimmer corelli finish. If you guys saw my reaction video, I feel like the two that got my attention initially were Ice No Snow and Barely Frio. It's kind of funny because I don't really gravitate towards nude polishes, but when I see something like peachy and shimmery like that, I just like loved it. It was so beautiful, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you saw it and thought about Diamonds Are Forever, and I promise I will bottle compare it for you guys right now since I didn't do it in the comparison. Okay, if you guys are seeing the comparisons, the first one that I did was Mrs. Darling, and oh my god, I feel like they are pretty similar. I do feel like Barely Frio is a bit more peach and lighter. Obviously it has all the shimmers, but besides that I feel like they are super similar. On my thumb is Mrs. Jones, and after comparing it, you can tell how much darker Mrs. Jones is, but I did want to put it here just because I wanted you guys to see how light Barely Frio is, so hopefully that would give you like a reference. The next one that I compared it to is Pinky, and you guys can tell how much lighter Pinky is. Obviously it does have like that slight pink color, but it is just like way darker than Pinky. And the last one that I compared it to is Clueless or Adeline, and I just felt like I had to put it here since it's such a beautiful soft color, but you guys can totally see how much more pink Clueless is, and then Barely Frio is just like a peachy polish. You guys have no idea how much I struggled putting this comparison together because this is one of the polishes of this collection that has so many similar polishes that already exist. Obviously they're not identical to this one, but it is pretty similar because it is in that nude peach like light section. So I'm gonna show you guys like a bunch of bottle comparisons right now, so get ready. This is Order Up. This is Let Them Eat Cake. This is Mrs. Wheeler. This is One of Your French Girls. This is I'll Be Seeing You. This is Lyla. This is Desert Rose. Here is Diamonds Are Forever. This is Cecilia. This is Marie. This is Matilda. Here is Miss Honey. And this is Mrs. Potts. Alright, and the very last polish of the collection is called Hopper. Hopper is described as a cool taupe gray polish with a creme finish. I am absolutely obsessed with this polish. It is so cool and so unique. I have been wanting a polish like this from Lyla's Lacquer for such a long time. I think it is just like the perfect cool tone taupey gray. This one was also a polish that I kind of struggled comparing just because it is so unique. Probably the most unique one out of this whole collection. So the first one that I compared it to is Dirty Dancing, and I know it might look a little weird in the comparison comparison, but it does have like that gray tone coolness, so I definitely did see a similarity, especially in person. I will show you guys the grays compared next to it, but I just thought these looked more similar just because the other gray tones were like way too blue toned. The next one that I compared it to is Mama Lights or Rosie. It may not look like it in the picture, but Rosie is a very cool toned brown with like a bunch of little shimmers. That's why I wanted to put it up here, and you can see a little bit of the cool toneness compared to it. The next one that I put is Or Worse Expelled. When I first saw Hopper, I immediately thought about this polish just because it just released and it is like all gray tones, so I thought it would be a little bit similar, but they are super different. Hopper is just like a gray taupey polish, so it is super different. And the last one that I compared it to is Cookie. I just wanted to put of a more light browny kind of color just so you guys can see just how different it is from like brown tones. So let me just show you guys the bottle comparisons. Here is Cold Case. This is Spanglish. Please excuse the bottle caps, but this is Moon River. This one might be a little weird, but I just wanted to show you for reference. This is Fuzzy Socks. And I also wanted to bring the bottle out here. This is Dirty Dancing, so you guys can see a bit better how similar they actually are. This is Rosie or Mama Lights, so you guys can see also in the bottle. This is Dark Academia. This is Smoky Quartz. This is Mrs. Bennett. This is Mrs. Robinson. Here is Lyla. This is Diamonds Are Forever, which is surprisingly pretty similar. At least in person, they are so beautiful together. This is Alyanna. Here is Jolene. And this is Mrs. Jones. Alright, so I am ready to talk about my ranking. This always sucks, so I'm not even going to sit here and be like, oh my god, this is hard. It is, but let's just move on with it. So my last place, the reason why I placed it this low is just because there's something in my collection that is very similar that I already had, and it wasn't as unique as the other ones. So my last place is gonna have to go to Roast the Malo. But yeah, this one is too similar to Cortadito in my opinion, and since I already have that polish, it didn't add any like uniqueness to me. But if I didn't have Cortadito, I would totally get this. So if you guys missed out, I 100% recommend it. My 5th and 4th place are kind of like interchangeable, and even my 3rd place might be interchangeable with those two. So I'm just gonna bring out 5 and 4 because I don't know where I want to put these two. So for now, it's gonna be Un Poco Coco and By the Fireplace. I was gonna put this one as 5th and this one as 4th, but like I don't know, I don't know, because the way that I do my ranking is like what I wear on my everyday life. And if you guys know me, I am not like the biggest red person, but I'm also not like the biggest nude person, so I guess it depends on how I feel that day. But these are both like interchangeable. I might like Un Poco Coco more than By the Fireplace, so I don't know. So that's why I'm placing them both here together. Even just looking at them together, they are so freaking pretty, so I love them both though. So my 3rd place, like I said, it was kind of about to be interchangeable, but the moment that I saw it, I really liked it, and it is gonna have to go to Barely Frio. And like I just said, I'm not a super nude polish girl, but when you add shimmers to anything, I will absolutely love it. And I really like this type of like peachy nude pastel-y kind of color, so I absolutely love it that it has all of the glitteriness to it. So maybe that's why it's up higher, and I just think it's so beautiful. So hopefully we get more colors in this finish. Okay, my top 2 and 1 were really hard to place, but I think my number 2 is gonna have to go to I Smell Snow. And if you are not new to my channel, you know that green is my favorite color, so it's kind of crazy that this is my number 2, not my number 1. But I just completely fell in love with my number 1, and it is just like such a meat color. But you guys, oh my god, you absolutely need this polish. It is so beautiful. If you love greens, or if you're trying to experiment with greens, this is like the perfect polish because you just need like 1 or 2 coats, and it is not too intense, and it has a bunch of cute little shimmers, so it is so precious and beautiful. And the name, like, oh my gosh. And obviously my number 1 is gonna have to go to Hopper. I just am obsessed with this color. I don't know if it's because it's the most unique from the collection, but I'm so obsessed with these type of polishes, and I'm so happy they brought it to the collection because I've been saying in my head that we need something like this. So I'm just happy she's here, and she's my number 1. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you guys didn't know, I am an affiliate with Lacquer, so I do have my code and you guys can get a 10% discount and I would really appreciate it. I also have a link that you could use both of them or one or the other, whichever. I just want to thank everyone that came through for the release day. Oh my god, I love you guys so much. It helps out with my channel more than you can possibly imagine, so thank you so much for thinking about me and I just appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful week or weekend, and I will see you guys on the next one.